Hello everyone and welcome to another Boosted Films tutorial. This is Paul from Boosted Films, and today we're going to take a look at installing air conditioning components in my 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8. This should be very close to the same for all US EVO 8s and EVO 9s. As always, perform anything you see in this video at your own risk. I am simply doing this video for entertainment purposes only and showing you how I installed mine. Especially when you're working with any air conditioning components and you're working with Freon or anything like that to charge the system, you probably want to take it to a professional. But this is how I reinstalled some components on my car. Now, before I get too far along into this video, I just want to give a couple quick notes to what might be a common question for people that want to just figure out what has to be done for this. So first thing, no, you don't have to actually remove your radiator. You can just end up pushing it forward, and then you should be able to get your condenser in. So if you're worried about removing your radiator to get your air conditioning condenser in, you shouldn't have to do that. So that's good news. But you do have to remove your front bumper, which I'm going to go into here in a little bit. So those are some key things that I would like to know if I was just digging into this project. So here we go. First things first, we're going to start getting ready to remove our bumper, and then we're going to have our child move off to camera right and get them out of the frame. But once your bumper is loosened up, I have a different video on that if you don't know how to remove your bumper. But you should remove your front bumper and take that off and out of the way. Next, you're going to have to remove the radiator brackets that hold the radiator in place from the top. And then there should just be one bolt on each side that you're going to want to unscrew. And then you should be able to pull those brackets out. And after that, we're going to have to remove our radiator fan just to give us some room to push the radiator back. And there are two bolts at the top holding that radiator fan in place. And then there is a plug-in that you're going to have to unplug as well, probably from below. I wasn't able to show that, but you should be able to figure that out to remove that fan and get that out of the way. So once we pull that fan out of the way, we also remove the coolant overflow hose, because that just kind of was in my way a little bit too. It prevented me from pushing the radiator back. Because what you're going to want to do, and what I'm going to show here, is you're going to want to push the radiator back, and that should allow you to drop in your condenser. Hopefully your condenser is straighter than mine. I bought this stuff all used online. But if you have a nice straight, not curved condenser, you should be able to drop it in fairly easily without having to remove your radiator. Again, you'll just have to push it back and then drop it in. Hopefully your condenser came with the rubber mounts on the bottom. There are holes on each side of the condenser for the air conditioner condenser that will need to drop into place. So it might take a little bit to finagle it around, but you should be able to get that air condenser to drop in place. Now I'm just doing a quick walk around showing what that air conditioning condenser looks like when it's just sitting in place. And here I'll just zoom in a little bit at the spot where the air conditioning condenser actually sits. So next thing we're going to want to do is bolt that air conditioning condenser in place. So there is a bolt on each side of the car, and right now I am bolting in the driver's side. And then we're going to move over to the passenger side, and we're going to screw that bolt in place as well to hold that air conditioner condenser and tighten that bolt up. So next I'm going to show you where the fan for the air conditioning system goes. And I have an aftermarket front mount intercooler. This might fit differently for you depending on your intercooler. And I'm actually zooming in here on a hole that kind of the air conditioning fan unit sits in place. And that's what you're going to have to match up when you drop the fan in. I didn't really have a grommet for mine, a rubber piece to kind of keep it from bouncing around. So I kind of made a homemade grommet here just to keep it from vibrating around. And then again, it kind of depends on your intercooler. You might have to remove your front mount intercooler. I did have to loosen mine up and move it out of the way a little bit to be able to get the fan in. But I think this intercooler is a little bit wider than the factory OEM intercooler. So be warned, you may have to loosen up or maybe even totally remove your intercooler if you have a very thick intercooler. But I was able to just loosen up some of the brackets holding my intercooler in place and then slide the fan down. And after you get the fan to drop in place, you'll want to connect the two connections that are going to it, obviously. And then there are two bolts at the top of the fan to hold and mount the fan in place. And then there's also one bolt on towards the middle of the car that you're going to have to connect that I'm going to show next. And you'll have those 3 bolts in total holding your fan in place. And of course, if you remove your front mount intercooler or just had to loosen up the brackets, you'll want to tighten that back up in place. So this is the first line we're going to install. And this line right here runs from the air conditioning pump up to the air conditioning condenser. So we went at it from the bottom and brought it up through the bottom of the car and connected it to the air conditioning pump. I should also say that I did have the air conditioning pump connected to this car for a while. When I put the engine in, I had the air conditioning pump, I just didn't have the rest of the components for the car. So if you are installing your air conditioning pump, I can't exactly help you out on that, but hopefully you can figure that out. So obviously you want to bolt that line up to your air conditioning pump, and then we're going to run that line up towards the top of the car where it will connect eventually to the air conditioning condenser. Next, this line here, this high pressure line, will connect to the other side of the air conditioning condenser and run up towards that top motor mount. And as you can see, I snuck it around and put it behind the coolant overflow bottle here. So obviously we connect that line to the air conditioning condenser, and then we go ahead and connect the other line that runs from the pump as well and bolt that in place. And the next line we're going to show is a line that runs from the air conditioning pump up basically towards that motor mount again. This is going to run up towards the firewall, and we're going to lower that down to the air conditioning pump and bolt it in place there. And that should be all we have to do for anything in kind of that tight space. So once we have the air conditioning condenser bolted up in place, that fan in place, bolted up, plugged in, ready to go, and we ran those lines down to the air conditioning pump, then you should be able to put everything back in place that you took out to kind of get those components in. So we're going to start putting that line back in place, that coolant overflow line. We're going to bolt that back in place, and then we're also going to go ahead and put the other fan in place, the cooling fan in place for the radiator. We're going to drop that back in place, and then we're going to bolt it in, and then we're going to reconnect the connection to that fan as well, so it turns back on like it should. And finally, we're going to put those top brackets back in place that hold the radiator in place and bolt those in as well. So our final 2 lines that we're showing here are going to run kind of from where that top front motor mount is into the firewall. And as you can see, they kind of bolt up together in one piece here. The smaller line kind of slides into the groove of that bracket. And here you can see where I have the smaller line laid out. This is generally where it's going to go. But jump cut here to removing the strut tower bar. I definitely recommend removing your strut tower bar so you can get this line ran. This line was a little bit funny to figure out, and I think it got bent around a little bit during shipping, so don't be surprised if you have to rebend it a little bit to make it work appropriately. And also, this may not even be the exact route that it's ran from the factory, but it worked for me. Next, we're going to sneak back behind the engine, behind the air intake manifold, and then you're going to see where this bolts up to the firewall. And as you can see, I already have that smaller line in place. And then what we're going to be able to do is put that big kind of block type thing over it, and then screw in the bigger line. It did take a little while, again, to kind of get this lined up. You definitely want to make sure you have it lined up and ready to go. You don't want to be cross-threading those bolts, so take your time. Get it lined up. You might have to, again, bend the lines a little bit to get them perfectly straight and going in just as they should be. So next we're going to take this top line and reconnect it to the other portion of the line. And that line just has 2 fittings that should screw together. And the other side, the bigger line, is going to be a little bit easier to put together. As you can see here, it's just going to kind of squeeze together, and you're just going to have to put that one nut in place to hold it together. We're going to want to tighten up all those connections. There's a high pressure switch that you're going to have to plug in the wire for, so you want to plug that in and tighten everything up and make sure it looks good to go. Now, once you have all these components installed, you will need to get the Freon added. You will need to get the system pressurized. So you'll want to take it, most likely you'll just want to take it to someone that does air conditioning, because what you need to do this properly is actually have a vacuum pump on to pull out all the air while you push in the Freon. And then also, depending on what pump you have, if you bought a whole unit, you need to know that there's oil in the pump itself, in the air conditioning pump. So there's oil that's ran in there. You need to install the appropriate amount of oil. I'm not covering all that stuff here today. I'm really just letting you know that's what you need to look for. And the main purpose of this video was just to show you how to actually install the components. So if you bought used like I did, most likely what you're going to want to end up doing is getting some dye injected into your unit, air conditioning unit, and then you'll want to make sure that it's not leaking anywhere. They do make dyes that you put in, and then once you kind of fill it, you can see where it would be leaking. When you buy a used air conditioning unit like this, that can be extremely valuable. So again, I think you can save some money basically installing this by yourself, especially if you bought a roller EVO that didn't have any air conditioning for whatever reason and you just want to put it back in. You should be able to install the components by yourself, but then I would take it to a professional, again, to have them check it for leaks and also to fill it. But if you want to dabble into doing that yourself, you can always look at other YouTube videos online. I know Chris Fix has some videos covering that as well. And finally, once we're all done, we obviously put our strut tower back in place and put anything back in place that we unbolted. So that's about it for this how-to video from Boosted Films. As always, thanks so much for watching, and if you want to connect with me, you can do so on any other social media platform. And if you have any questions or comments, or if you know I did this entirely wrong, because I have made mistakes before, I'm sure I'll do it again, please leave a comment in the comment section of this video, and we'll definitely try to talk through it and make sure that if I did anything wrong, there should be an update in the comments. So, as always, this is Paul for Boosted Films. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.